Queen Victoria is remembered as the symbol of discipline, strength, and moral order. Her name defines an entire era, an empire, a way of life. But behind the black dresses, strict values, and powerful image was a quieter history rarely spoken about. A dependency shared by much of the elite world. This is the lesser-known story of Queen Victoria and opium, a young queen under immense pressure. When Victoria became queen in 1837, she was only 18 years old. She suddenly carried the weight of the British Empire, the largest empire the world had ever known. There was no room for weakness, no space for emotional collapse. Yet her life was filled with constant pain, stress, and loss. She suffered from severe menstrual pain, migraines, anxiety, and later the physical toll of 9 pregnancies. Modern medicine didn't exist, but opium did. Opium wasn't illegal, it was medicine. Here's what many people don't realize. In the 19th century, opium was completely legal. It was sold openly in pharmacies, mixed into syrups, powders, and drops. Doctors prescribed it for pain, anxiety, insomnia, depression, childbirth. One of the most common forms was laudanum, a mixture of opium and alcohol. Queen Victoria was prescribed opium-based medicine by her doctors, just like millions of others. The difference? She was the queen. The empire's quiet dependency, Victoria relied on opium, especially during pregnancy and childbirth. At the time, childbirth was dangerous and often life-threatening. Opium was seen as a gift, a way to calm pain and fear. Later, after the devastating death of her husband, Prince Albert, Victoria fell into deep grief. She wore black for the rest of her life. Historians believe opium helped her cope with emotional trauma, sleeplessness, chronic pain. But this was never discussed publicly. The queen had to appear strong, untouchable, a hidden truth among the elite. What was hidden from the public wasn't just Victoria's use of opium, it was how common it was among the upper class. Writers, politicians, doctors, and royalty used opium regularly. Some became dependent without even realizing it. Children were given opium syrups to sleep. Entire households relied on it. Only later did society begin to understand the dangers. The moral irony of the Victorian era. Here's the quiet irony of history. The Victorian era preached strict morality, discipline, and self-control. Yet behind closed doors, the empire ran on. Opium, alcohol, silence. Britain even fought wars over the opium trade, while quietly consuming it at home. Queen Victoria herself later signed laws restricting opium, even though it had once helped her survive her own pain. A human queen, not a perfect one. Queen. Victoria was not weak. She was human. She ruled for 63 years, guiding Britain through industrial revolutions, wars, and enormous change. Her private reliance on medicine doesn't erase her legacy. It reminds us that even the most powerful people in history carried burdens the world never saw. Behind every crown is a human heart. And sometimes, even an empire runs on secrets